All right, Joe Biden gave Donald Trump a much worse economy than many first realized. That's the subject of the riff. Now, it's hard for any of us to pull away from the heartbreaking and heinous killing of the American hero Charlie Kirk. And we're going to have the great Newt Gingrich here in a moment to weigh in, along with many others during the show. But there are some very important economic events out there that we need to cover. And I want to ask some tough questions. Look, the whole world expects the Fed to drop its target rate at the meeting this week. Okay, we'll get an announcement on Wednesday. And I'm in that camp. But after the CPI report last week, I just want to note the following. Think about this. Measured on 3-month intervals, high-frequency intervals, with annualized numbers, the top-line CPI came in at 3.5%, and the core, ex-food and energy, at 3.6%. The Fed's inflation target is 2%. Meanwhile, goods prices measured the same way came in at 3% top line and 2.8% core. Now, the presumption is that these are one-time price increases that may be related to tariffs. And that is a plausible presumption. But it's worth asking whether the Fed should accommodate even one-time price hikes with lower interest rates. Now, I think the bigger influence on easier monetary policy is the fact that Joe Biden gave Donald Trump a much worse economy than many first realized. Job revisions have removed over 1.5 million from payrolls. In recent months, private sector jobs have not risen at all. Initial unemployment claims may be jumping up for the first time in several years. The whole job sector looks to be on stall speed, to use Fed Governor Chris Wallace's term. But that's a different matter than what to do about one-time price increases. Now, stock markets continue their historic, record-breaking rallies, and that's a good thing. Household net worth, which is mainly stocks and home values, well, that's jumped to over $170 trillion. That's a strong underpinning for the economy. And there's the makings of a business boom developing from the Trump tax cuts and the deregulation. And President Trump said today that the U.S. may be on its way to a trade deal with China. And that looks like it could include some kind of resolution over Chinese-owned social media company TikTok. But there are no details on that deal, and the trade talks in general, which are likely to be extended, haven't really been completed yet. Mr. Trump may be speaking with President Xi this Friday. That's according to The Buzz. And talk is always a good thing. Civility. I'm sure Mr. Trump's going to ask President Xi to stop buying Russian oil that finances the Ukraine war. But talking is always a whole lot better than shooting. And that is the riff this evening.